Welcome. It's another great weekend. Of course, it's a moment of Speed Racer. It's the 1 hour hilarious hour show where you get yourself up and down until you see it to the end. And of course, I'm glad my name's Frank Kaheesi to run you through the whole hour as it unfolds.
Understanding the techniques used in rally driving will help you understand the relationship between car and road surface and how to be the master of control under extreme pressure. Dirt Rally has a precisely detailed vehicle handling model, so you will need to utilise real-world driving techniques to get through our most technical stages in one piece. Master these techniques and you'll maximise the potential of every car, allowing you to get better stage times and challenge for championship victories. Weight transfer is the core component that most aspects of rally driving revolve around. That is, the inertia of the car's weight as it changes direction. This is the force that makes your body move as the car brakes, accelerates and turns. Weight transfer affects the amount of mechanical pressure applied by each of the 4 tyres against the road surface. When a car speeds up, slows down or turns, each tyre will experience a difference in that mechanical pressure compared to when the car is stationary. This results in an increase or decrease of the potential grip available. Braking and accelerating produces longitudinal weight transfer and turning produces lateral weight transfer. It can also be influenced by other factors such as the road surface, jumps and crests. Always try and manage the weight transfer at the moment it's required, whether accelerating, braking or turning. This will maximise the grip potential of each tyre, keeping you flowing in and out of sections throughout a stage. It is important to bear this basic principle in mind as you watch these guides, as almost all these techniques are used to manage weight transfer.
We get to learn of how the aerodynamism of the Formula E car does work. And looking at how it operates, you get to know how better these electronic cars are taking edge on the world racing globe. Well, that's how the aerodynamism of a Formula E car and the course of racing that is taking up ages on the current retiring World Rally stars right away from the Formula 1 and Formula E as the globe takes on the new innovated sport. In the same line of duty, of course, we're having 2016 Formula 1 champion, that's Nico Rosberg, who hardly took up a defense on his title, is eyeing at the Formula E Grand Prix. Earlier last week, he was in Bahrain to test one of the Formula E Generation 2 cars in a bid to get himself into the cockpit. Is Nico Rosberg going to be rolling fully for a season in Formula E?
And also to launch the Generation 2 car to the public, and really make a statement. That was great drive through the city. I nailed a couple of those donuts, which was good fun. Well, it's like seeing a spaceship go through town, for them. I don't think they've ever seen something like that. So, no, great. Everybody was out of control, picking out their phones, even did a selfie with one fan out there, so good times. Formula E is the future. Yeah, and it's sending out a very, very strong message to the world, and it's cool. And it's great because it's racing, great championship, good battles out there, really entertaining. So it's just a great package.
Whoa! Yes!
Well, we hope Nico Rosberg gets in the sync of the Formula E rundown of activities. And as you've seen, the weekend was a little bit of packed with action, of course, with the Bahrain Formula E Grand Prix. And of course, the man himself, homeboy, that is Daniel Abbott, was in the lead from the course as he tried his way on the local surface. Coming in second was, of course, none other than that is Lucas Di Gassi. He is another guy who is struggling to recapture again a title at the Formula E Championship. Let's get to see the hilarious action as unfolded in Bahrain over the weekend.
He thinks that he'll have some of that as well, a little bit of a nudge between them. Big lock-up, and Di Grassi gets the job done, so he is now past D'Ambrosio and up into fourth place. And here comes Buemi, sends it up the inside of D'Ambrosio, brakes a little bit later and gets the move done into turn 9. And here comes good boy Nick Heidfeld, right on the outside of Nelson Piquet at turn 1. Is he going to get that stopped? Yes, what a wonderful move from the German. I think that's a late dart from Rosenqvist. Some firm defence there from Piquet, who almost goes into the back of the other Mahindra of Heidfeld. Piquet defending again, but Rosenqvist is going to try and go later on the brakes round the outside. Not going to pull that one off, not much grip on the outside of the corner there. And here's the look from Mitch Evans up the inside of Sam Bird. Evans goes through into 7th place. Bird tries to get the cutback. This is going to go side by side up into turn 7, which is the quickest corner on the racetrack. And Bird backs out of that one. My heart was in my mouth there for a moment. Oh, and there's a look from Heidfeld, making another place, this time going past Tom Dillman. Here comes Di Grassi up the inside of Verne, and that's 3rd place for the Brazilian. Buemi's got a perfect view on board. Verne will try and get the cut back, but once again, the left-hander of 7 isn't a great opportunity. And so Lucas Di Grassi now moves up into 3rd place. Oh, and Buemi's following through. So Jean-Eric Verne, championship leader, loses 2 places in 3 corners. And there is Di Grassi, he's into 2nd. So Di Grassi up into 2nd position now. It's an Audi 1-2. This is what happened with Di Grassi, same place, same move basically. And here comes Mitch Evans up the inside of Jerome D'Ambrosio, and that is Evans now up into 6th spot. This is Buemi getting out of shape, and that allows Verne the inside line, a bit of a wheel bang. Oh, and there's Felix Rosenqvist up the inside of Tom Dillman. That is Rosenqvist now up into 12th position. Here comes Alex Lynn down into turn 1, sees the inside on Luca Filippi, sends it in very deep. Oh, I thought he was going there, but just managed to get it stopped. As we look at Sam Bird getting the job done on Jerome D'Ambrosio down into the final corner at turn 10. You can see here that Buemi has 3% more usable energy, and there he's using it up the inside into 10, locks in, goes deep. That's going to allow Verne to cruise past Oliver Turvey and up into 4th position, so Turvey loses 2 spots. Buemi defending, Verne going for it, and he forces his way up the inside into 3rd. Oh, there's a late move. Tom Dillman going past 2 of them. Goodness me. And there's Piquet going past D'Ambrosio as well. D'Ambrosio must have some kind of problem because he has now dropped all the way to 14th position. There goes Piquet up the inside of Rosenqvist. The Jaguar past the Mahindra, and that is Piquet into 12th position. Tom Dillman in the Venturi trying to get past Jose Maria Lopez in the White Dragon, who is running in 9th position. Dillman's super close here. Lopez is going to have to defend. We're on board with Piquet, who's sitting here thinking, oh, where am I going to go? Oh, there he's going to go, up the inside of Dillman. Oh, locked up in front right. No, he's going into the wall. Oh, Piquet has thrown it away. Lopez went in too deep as well, and there's got to be contact there, wasn't there, between Rosenqvist and Jose Maria Lopez. And all of that is getting busy. Oh, Lopez backwards. Lopez facing backwards at turn 3. That's quite a view for the spectators down there. And now he's got Nico Prost all over behind him. There is a look up the inside from Lotterer. Lotterer's got himself into the points, up into 10th position. And just a couple of weeks after the Parisian Jean-Eric Verne won in Paris, Daniel Abt, the German, exits the final corner to win for Audi in Berlin.
Danke Berlin, unendlich fassbar geiler Tag. Ich werde den Tag nie vergessen. Thank you so much. Incredible. We have an Audi 1-2, best ever result, home win for me. Everyone at Audi, everyone in the garage can be super proud of what we achieved today.
Well, congs to the team that is renowned, that emerged winners for the Bahrain Formula E Championship. And the second runners-up, that is Lucas Di Gassi, that is an Audi. That is another time 1-2 was for Team Audi in the Formula E. And of course, Eric Jean, and of course, the man himself who has been at the helm of the Formula E is of course none other than Sebastian Bremi. He is in the struggle as the boys are sharpened up for the same race. Well, that is a much hilarious action that happened at the Bahrain conference. And of course, now talking Formula One. Formula One is at the edge of deciding who will be the next winner after the 5 rounds being shared between Red Bull, Mercedes, and of course Ferrari. In the first attempt to take the leads as earlier was the man himself, that is Sebastian Vettel, taking up the first 2 rounds in bag. And of course, coming in now next was Daniel Ricciardo, who won another round, and much so. Recently, Mercedes picking up the form and getting in, merging back-to-back win. That is Lewis Hamilton, starting with the Azerbaijan Baku City event, and not much so with the last weekend event, that is the Spanish Grand Prix. What could be next for Team Mercedes as the same way as it had happened?
Red Bull Racing will now wait until the Canadian Grand Prix on June 10 to decide on its 2019 power unit, with updates from Renault and Honda introduced in Montreal set to be the deal clincher. Red Bull's plans to wait now mean it will miss Renault's May 31 deadline, despite the French manufacturer already providing a 2-week extension, and its racing chief Cyril Abiteboul stating further delays are not possible, with a long lead time required for manufacturing parts. It's reported that Renault told Red Bull in September last year it didn't want to continue with the team in 2019, but allegedly its contract with the sport stipulates it must provide engines to the squad if asked, effectively handing Red Bull a choice and the upper hand in negotiations. 4-time F1 world champion Sebastian Vettel has backed Pirelli's call to bring thinner tread tyres to Barcelona, despite the Ferrari driver's struggles with tyre life in the race, forcing him out of contention. The Circuit de Catalunya was resurfaced ahead of F1 pre-season testing, which led to many teams, including Mercedes and Ferrari, struggling with overheating rubber. As a result, Pirelli brought a different spec tyre to the Spanish Grand Prix to alleviate issues, reducing tread thickness by 0.4 of a millimeter. And while conspiracy theories were rife post-race that the change had been made to benefit the Silver Arrows, Vettel said it was the right decision. I think the result is that if we had the normal tyres on Sunday, we'd probably even be worse off, he said. Mercedes driver Valtteri Bottas topped last week's 2-day in-season test in Barcelona. His best laps set on the Supersofts, 2 steps harder than his main rivals on the Hypersofts. Bottas pipped Ferrari reserve driver Antonio Giovinazzi, but on rubber that is agreed to be 1.3 to 1.4 seconds slower per lap. Red Bull Racing's Max Verstappen was 3rd, just ahead of Renault's Carlos Sainz. Across the field, there was good reliability, with Force India completing the most laps between its 3 young drivers, Nikita Mazepin, Nicholas Latifi, and George Russell. FIA President Jean Todt has defended the changes to F1's aerodynamic regulations for next year in a bid for closer racing sooner, stating, "We are trying to make this sport better." The cars next year will feature a simplified front wing and front brake duct and a wider and deeper rear wing. But half the teams are up in arms about the changes, stating they haven't been fully thought out. Todd, though, says the sport shouldn't wait until 2021 to take action. "I feel that if we understand that something is wrong, we should try to find a solution," Todd said. "We all say we want to have a better sport, a better show, so let's do something." Todd said it was a miracle the changes were accepted, despite only a majority vote needed for the F1 Commission before April 30. The memory of the late great Ayrton Senna will be celebrated in Monaco this weekend, with 2018 marking 30 years since his brilliant pole position in McLaren's dominant MP44 car. Senna's pole lap is regarded as one of the greatest in F1 history, not just because it was 1.427 seconds faster than teammate Alain Prost's best in the same car, but for the out-of-body experience he later recalled. That day, I suddenly realized that I was no longer driving conscious, and I was in a different dimension, Senna said. It's also 25 years since Senna's final Monaco win in 1993, his last year with the McLaren team before switching to Williams. Former F1 driver Felipe Massa has made the switch to Formula E, signing a 3-year deal for the Venturi team, beginning from the 2018-19 season. The 37-year-old Brazilian, who took 11 wins across 269 Grand Prix starts and raced for iconic teams Sauber, Ferrari and Williams, will join Formula E as the series debuts its new Gen 2 car, which 2016 F1 world champion Nico Rosberg demonstrated on the streets of Berlin last weekend. The Gen 2 car has twice the power of current spec models and will last for the entire race, eliminating the need for car changes.
Well, I wish all the teams success as they struggle their way on the Sunday on the Monaco tight Grand Prix circuit as they get into their struggles to see themselves come up victor. Mercedes are looking heads up as they have taken up a course of lead for the Formula 1 grid and the championship title. Away from there, we go straight away with the hilarious action that took up in Portugal with the Vodacom Portugal rally that saw Thierry Neuville of i20 taking a lead after his other top riders, the chasers in the same run, getting their problems. Let's get first see the ambience and how they happened on the days as from start to day 2.
Championship leader Seb Ogier was the first to start the day, sending clouds of dry dust into the Atlantic breeze. He dropped 6 places on the leaderboard, dealing with the effects of the dusty roads, but limited the damage of being first onto the stages. No sooner had Toyota started to deal with Tanak's rescue when a second of their 3 Yaris's needed attention. This time, Jari-Matti Lakkola, who broke his suspension on stage 3. In third place after the morning stages, Hayden Paddon, back in the Hyundai team for the first time since Sweden. He won stage 2 before the grip on his soft compound tyres began to fade. Chris Meek is the best placed Citroen, down to second place having briefly led, also a stage winner on Friday morning, but his intercom connection to his co-driver played. Out in front, Danny Sordo, the fourth of 4 Hyundai entries and making the most of his latest start and road position. He said he pushed like hell and his efforts paid off. Behind the leading 3, the championship challengers at the moment, Seb Ogier and Thierry Neuville.
Really good. The feeling was nice with the car. I was really pushing with a nice feeling. So it was enjoyable.
I'm happy for the look. We were quickest in the first one in this morning and then third fastest and second fastest. So overall the times are there, so this is positive. The speed is there. I know I have still a little bit more margin. I could push if it needed. But generally, I wanted to drive now the way that I can be fast, but I have time to look and react for the rocks. That's the thing. I haven't been able to do, full loops now for some time, so that feels good, yes.
If the hard surface is coming up like yesterday, then we need to have a stiffer car. In the end, I hope it affects a lot and we will be very fast in the afternoon. Because the times were really nice. I'm really looking forward to the afternoon.
I'm really happy. I mean, overall, okay, after the service, first stage, I was 6th fastest. It wasn't not a bad run, but I was a bit too careful maybe with the holes and stuff. Then I thought, okay, let's try for now, rally again on the 2nd stage. Then we won the stage. Overall, I'm really happy that the performance is there. I mean, the car is fast and I started to find myself the speed and confidence. All the elements are now there.
I think I've never driven that fast and pushed that hard the whole afternoon. Okay, in the end it didn't. I just couldn't make the time. At least I could keep it the same. I wasn't losing anything, so yeah, in that way it was a bit frustrating. But otherwise, really happy for the driving, that I could really be on the limit so long time.
And my approach is I'm trying to carry on like what I did today. I want to be competitive and try to do a clean day tomorrow. And then of course in the power stage try to attack and try to get some points. That would be really nice.
Sure, the gap is 11 seconds to the 4th place, so okay, it's a lot, but I want to be close, because if the mistake will happen, you know, you never know. It needs to be only a spin from the others and then we are equal. So
as 3 equipas que terminaram nas 3 primeiras posições, vamos chamar os grandes vencedores do Vodafone Rally de Portugal 2018. Hyundai, Shell Mobis WRT, Nicolas Gilson e Thierry Neuville. Chamem por ele, Thierry.
Well, good performance and good featuring in the weekend Rally of Portugal. Let's get a short rock boom break and come back with a local bit of it. Guess what? The man in studio with me is none other than the crew co-driver for the V-Power sponsored crew of Ronald Sebuguzi. That's a man, Rion Senyange, the man I call Sexy Vuzela.